Spending time here has really opened a new door and gave me the idea that it's possible to turn my hobbies into a full-blown career. And that's what most people aspire to do. Their hobbies are normally just for fun, but if you can turn it into a business, why wouldn't you?
He cares about excellence, and that is something that you either have or you don't have. And to do this type of work and do it well, you gotta have it. This morning we started with kind of the overview of what is Coachbuilding and how we build the cars. And now it's a process of taking all the words and actually learning what they mean and applying them to making the panels. My name is Chris Runge. I own Runge Cars. And we are a company that does bespoke coach building. So we build automobiles from the ground up. I got into air-cooled cars when I turned 16, and that became a fascination and almost an obsession for me. I started to look at the history and the racing history specifically of how the hand-built tool room racers were made after World War II. I just had this spark, man, maybe I could build my own. What was so beautiful about the cars to me was how raw they were, and they had so much character, imperfections, that they just put these things together to make them go as fast as they could. And I wanted to experience that, and I wanted to hammer out my own aluminum body. So the first thing I'm gonna do with this is just get some shape into it this way, yep.
My name is Vincent Ramirez and I'm from Afton, Minnesota. So I grew up in a metal fabrication shop where I had a free range on any sort of metal tool, wood tool. From a pretty young age I've been building things. Coming from Minnesota, there's not too many people that do metal shaping, so I've known about Chris Runge's cars for a while now.
And I'm going beyond our shrinking marks to get it to flow. As I've gotten better at the craft and seen the amount of interest in learning it, I've wanted to have kind of a hub that we could work with as a nonprofit that could connect kids or young people, old people too, wanting to learn this craft. And the Piston Foundation was the perfect resource for that. They have a passion to get young people the skills they need and the placement to pursue careers in this. And when I learned about that, we jumped on board to sponsor this and offer the week of training.
Yeah.
These are things that you may not do if you're painting a car.
Yeah.
But when you're leaving it raw aluminum, just get everything as clean as possible.
All of the things we've worked on have been super exciting. I'd never done pretty much any work on the English wheel or shrinking and stretching, making my own panels. I came in with a fair amount of generic metal experience, but nothing too related to body shaping or coach building. So that's all been super fun to learn. Practicing up on my welding, TIG welding, learning gas welding, more traditional ways of doing things. And I think as a young person, I'm able to connect more of the modern ways of thinking that I learned in school, the CAD 3D modeling side of it, the rapid prototyping, machining, into the more traditional ways that Chris used to build his cars. Yeah, pretty much cover all bases, and I'm more prepared than I ever have been to build my own car.
The workshop with Vincent has been amazing. Vincent's super talented. He's one of those guys who he's been in the garage since he was a kid with his dad and working on stuff. So he picked up the skills that we teach pretty naturally. We covered a ton of stuff and he's done an amazing job. That looks so cool though.
Yeah, it does. My favorite part so far has been once you get to the point that you can attach all the separate panels together. Like if you look at one of the single panels we did, it's pretty small, it doesn't have too much curve in it, but once you connect it to a second one, it really ties the entire shape together.
Vince has a lot of that shop-minded intuition that carries over into his workmanship. So there's certain things that you can't really teach or take a long time to establish. It's really interesting because now that I think of it, I didn't see Vince on his phone one time in the last 5 days. I've not seen the kid pick up his phone. I think a lot of young people, whether they know it or not, the desire to sit and stare at a screen doesn't come naturally. I don't think it's a natural thing for anyone. You know, my mom used to tell us go outside and play. That was so important. Like going outside and playing meant building, digging holes, finding, creatures in the earth. Like that stuff is so important, and that plays into the desire to create and build and all the things that we do here.
This opportunity has been great for me, not just to learn metal shaping, but get to learn more about Chris and how he was able to start a company out of a single car that he built in his shop. And yeah, that's something I'm more interested in too, is how he's able to turn a hobby into a full-blown business. Yeah, it would be fun in my future to be able to work with cars, design my own parts, manufacture my own parts. The Piston Foundation is doing fantastic things for keeping our car culture alive in the younger generation and helping me to go to school without worrying about the financial burden of it. Connecting me to opportunities like this, which I would otherwise never have.
Look at that.
Wow.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, one panel done out of 30, or what?
Oh, probably 16 total, 18 maybe. The satisfaction that you get from working so hard from a piece of paper and then seeing this machine come to life, and the other part of that satisfaction that you find in it is the senses. Like it appeals to sight, touch, taste, sound. It's a living, breathing thing, and then it can move you through time. It's a time machine, literally. So there's not a lot of other things in the world that compare to building a car.